The title of our song is The Old Man Plants Coconut Tree. An old man at 90 was seen one morning planting coconut tree in his backyard garden. His grandson queried Nana, a term of respect for the aged. What you are doing puzzles me. Do you think you will live up to enjoy the fruits of your labor? Knowing very well that it takes quite a time for coconut tree to come to fruition. And even if you live beyond that age, do you think you will have the dental capacity to enjoy it? The old man smiled. I said, my grandson, I know I wouldn't live to enjoy the fruits of my labor, but I'm planting the coconut tree for you and children unborn. Mitro kakamio, minuro kakamio, kakamio poku amotiana. Mafuoni osejuma, mafuoni osejuma, mafuoni osejuma, mafuoni osejuma. Lebo, obisido jonyewo, mafuoni osejuma. Lebo, obisido jonyewo, mafuoni osejuma. Osejuma, mafuoni, osejuma, mafuoni, osejuma. Osejuma, mafuoni, osejuma, mafuoni, osejuma. Yo. Oh, the boy. Obisido jonyewo, mafuoni, osejuma. Oh, the boy. Obisido jonyewo. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ejako Nimo. And like the old man said, Nana said, the benefits of BSU 2 would be there for many years. BSU 1, 2, and 3 would be there for many years to come. I know that we've already experienced a good chunk of those benefits, but there will be more to come, like the coconut tree would keep fruiting in season. So, at this point, I have the singular honor of introducing our chairman for today's event. Our chairman altogether has had 33 years of work life. 19 of those years he has spent with the CSIR Crop Research Institute. And then following from there, he spent 14 of it here at KNUST. And when he started here at KNUST, he's gone through the ranks from department to exam officer through to head of department to Dean of Faculty, and currently serving as the Provost of the College of Agriculture and Natural Resources. Colleagues, let's put our hands together and invite Professor K.B. Banfo, who is the chair for our event. We will take his remarks now.
MC, good morning and thank you. Good morning to you all, and especially the visitors who came from the northern part of the world. You are most welcome. It is a great pleasure to have this opportunity to chair this conference. In fact, the theme says it all: the how, the what, the how, the impact, and the way forward for the building of stronger universities between African universities and some universities in the north, particularly from the Danish universities. I believe a lot has been done over the past 10 years, and we are all ears to listen to what has been done, especially the impact it has made in transforming these universities to become better in the way of teaching, research, entrepreneurship, and outreach. So I won't take too much of your time. I accept being the chairman for this occasion, and I hope we'll have very fruitful deliberations. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Banfo. Next up, we would have an overview. And the person to do that overview of the entire Bsu Iii project is a man who doesn't need introduction. No introduction. Except to say that some call him Regimental Commander Abedu.
Hello, good morning. Very informal, all right? So all these introductions, sometimes I get to run away from introductions, so thank you for not doing it. Anyway, we'll start with our normal salutations. I've said a good morning, the chairperson, the one on this right, which will be introduced in due course, and I don't want to preempt that. But he will be our greatest guest of honor this morning. My fellow colleagues from the north, now we call them Denmark universities, is that right? And then we'll hear more about what they've done over the period. Now, many of us here have been, probably we've heard much about BSU. But BSU is not only BSU 3. BSU is 12 years old, probably older than some of us here as KNUST members. So what I try to do is to give an account of where we started from and where we are today. More importantly, because KNUST is not going to be part of the future BSU programs because we have arrived. That's the way it is put. And I believe we have arrived. And I will actually be able to transform our fortunes into bigger things as we've already started. So this journey I'm going to talk about began in 2011 when the Danish Ministry of Foreign Affairs to the decision to support selected developing countries, including Ghana, to transform their universities to enhance the achievement of their visions. Because you can't be getting greater things when you keep on doing the same thing, is that right? So there was a need for transformation or some change. And there were a lot of points of qualification, which gradually KNUST are satisfied. So became part of the very few universities selected in 2011. Okay. Now, this was designed to, on the premise that the Danish universities have a long history of successful partnership with universities in Africa and South Asia. And these partnerships have been a cornerstone in Danish standing commitment to strengthening research capacity in developing countries. They had a commitment to strengthen research capacity in the country. So they put that into a program, right? Starting with universities from South Asia and Africa to begin this memorable journey. Now, it was established, as I said, in 2011 as a collaboration between Investis Denmark. I thought it was difficult to understand what Investis Denmark was, but it was a collection of universities in Denmark coming together with the foreign ministry to bring up this program. Okay. Now, it was a joint initiative between 8 universities in Denmark and selected universities in Ghana, Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, and Nepal. Phase 1, that is BSU 1, of the program was aimed at strengthening the institutional capacity of the universities, including development of PhD programs and the research-based education and training. Now, on 30th June 2011, the Danida, through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Denmark, approved 60 million DKK, Danish kroner. That translated to 11.3 million US dollars. Grant for the first phase of the initiative. The underlying assumption was that by strengthening research and education at the universities in the partner countries, Danida would not only support poverty alleviation and economic development, but also the democratic development in the partner countries. The initiative was therefore built on 4 thematic platforms: growth and employment, human health, environment and climate, and stability, democracy, and rights. All right. The last one, stability, democracy, and rights. Okay. And it was because all these are linked to the development of a nation. When there's no stability, there's no democratic processes expressed, then you don't expect to have what? Any development. The 8 Danish universities co-funded the initiative, and that they, for the first time, engaged in a large joint research cooperation with the partner countries. The aim, again, was to strengthen the institutional capacity of the universities. Specifically at KNUST, the project focused on strengthening the university's research and staffing capacity through doctoral training support and acquisition of soft skills training to enhance staff research communication. At this point, I'd like to call attention to who actually started the BSU 1. You know, you've seen me many, many times. I did not start BSU 1. I was called to join BSU 1. So BSU had 3 platforms, and the one was the BSU platform on environment and climate, led by Professor Bsu. Second was BSU platform for growth and engagement, led by Professor Dro. And the third one, platform on human health, led by Professor Abonyega. And they are all here. Professor Bsu is supposed to be here. So, Sri and William, you are the historic members of what? BSU. I was just called to, can you please coordinate this for KNUST? So I just run around the verandas, making sure that things are working. So these great guys started BSU at KNUST. Shall we please give them a little clap on their hand? In fact, the BSU was also premised on the point that many of the Southern universities had lower capacity for research and teaching. And the basis of that was that we didn't have as many PhD holders, staff members, as anticipated for a stronger university or for a strong university. So we had the virtue of having 6 of our staff members transformed from their master's level to PhD levels. All right? I'm sad right now because we lost one. So we lost one of them. We have 5 left who are making waves. They say they're making waves. Young people say they're making waves. And leading departments, supervising PhD students. And I think that was a good intervention from the beginning. I saw Nana here was one of the beneficiaries who just, Nana, so this is one of the initial BSU products from geodetic engineering. Okay. Now, for BSU 2, we started from 2014 to 2017, but there was an extension. Hannah will remind me of that. And it was aimed at strengthening the research capacity of the universities, again, in selected Ghanaian priority countries. Please know the word priority countries. Is that right? They don't go to any country. They have what priority countries. So Ghana remained one of the priority countries that joined the BSU 2. Now, BSU 2 said, no, now I want more university-wide activities rather than what? The platforms. That's why I changed from the platforms to the work packages. Now, we laid the foundation for strengthening the institutional capacity within the research and the use of research in tertiary education and outreach activities with external stakeholders, all right, and users of research. In BSU 2, it was emphasized that we can't just develop projects within. We must make sure we involve our stakeholders. So that became key to planning the BSU 2 activities. Okay. So we came up with 4 work packages. The work package 1, at that time, climate issues were also buzzed. So the first one was WP 1, climate smart agriculture and environmental management. The 2 was entrepreneurship and job creation. And the 3 was healthcare delivery systems. And 1 cross-cutting work package, WP 4, that relates to university-wide services and facilities to enhance efficiency of research delivery. Again, let me also state that the first work package 1 was led by Professor Bridanson, which later transferred the leadership to Professor Patrick Adefojo. The work package 2 was led by Professor Dro again. The 3 was led by Professor Abonyega, and the 4, the cross-cutting, I took that leadership. Now, after the BSU 2, we normally engage an external consultant to evaluate the performance of what we've done so far. And I'd like to read what some of the remarks the external consultant made. The BSU 2 interventions were very relevant in leveraging the requisite knowledge, skills, attitudes, and behavioral change for enhancing responsiveness of KNUST, the staff, and students to creating the enabling environment for high quality and relevant research that promotes a sustainable technological and socio-economic development as envisaged in the vision and the mission of KNUST. The strategies were found to be effective by the project management, staff, and the students of KNUST. The project approach was also found to be flexible and responsive to the needs of the project management staff, students, partners, and beneficiaries. There's always a but. All right, so let me read the but. From the but is where we learn lessons and we seek improvement. However, it was observed that the efforts to disseminate the project interventions to academia, research institutions, industry, civil society, and the general public was inadequate. I want us to note the word inadequate. Don't let us assume that we were super successful, all right? We did things right, but we couldn't do certain bits really well. This undermined the impact and long-term sustainability of project interventions. The inability of BSU II to harness opportunities to adequately collaborate and develop synergies among the thematic areas and with other organizations engaged in and or funding similar interventions was a missed opportunity. It was expected that as you implement these projects, you leverage with other partners, you leverage with other institutions so that your outcomes will become much more sustainable than you anticipate. Also, the independent implementation and modalities adopted by the thematic teams with no cross-cutting coordination and optimization of potential synergies hampered the opportunities for wider impacts of the project. These resulted from the failure to correctly analyze the interests and expectations of the individuals who participated in the implementation of the project interventions. Thus, the commitment and the ownership of the project were not fully expressed. This is very important observation. Normally, if there is little commitment, if there is no ownership, all right, you can't anticipate the expression of the impact that's to be expressed. We want, if you own the project, you carry it wherever you go. That is where you express these outcomes. So then came BSU III, that many of you have invited to its closing. And BSU III was nothing but an extension of BSU II, meant to consolidate the gains made earlier on the project. Its overarching objective was to contribute to the phase 2, KNUST's mission of providing an environment, again, for teaching, research, and entrepreneurship, training in science and technology for sustainable development of Ghana, Africa, and other continents. This is our vision exactly, is that right? So we're supposed to get more prepared, accessible for achieving our own vision. The specific objective of the BSU III was to further strengthen KNUST's framework, systems, and practices for research to the extent that it is better able to engage with private and public sector stakeholders for the generation of new knowledge, or innovative ideas, as you may call it, to address specific societal problems. We cannot live in our offices and solve societal problems without involving the relevant stakeholders. So BSU III was supposed to extend further to engage stakeholders more fully so that, again, the outcomes will be more sustainably expressed. Now, based on this, the project activities were intended to achieve the following outcomes. The first outcome was KNUST staff have access to highly improved research-responsive administrative processes and systems. That is, by the end of the project, the staff will have access to these facilities. The second, KNUST has strong stakeholder collaborations and are able to offer tailor-made solutions to societal problems through the conduct of demand-driven research. The third one, KNUST adopts the culture of innovation and entrepreneurship in teaching and research to enhance technology transfer and commercialization of knowledge. Now, let me state that these outcomes have been derived from the larger Danida outcome areas. You know, Danida are supporting 6 universities from the different African countries. So they had outcome areas within which each university had to derive its own specific outcomes. And the outcomes are the ones that you are responsible for, not the Danida outcome areas. So let me, for sake of just knowledge acquisition right now, let me just recount the outcome areas. The outcome area 1 is the university capacity is improved by strengthening administrative processes and systems for research. Those of you who've been writing proposals, you know how we have coined ours nicely from this general statement. The second one, university capacity is improved by strengthening organization and systems for research education and research processes. And the third one is university capacity is improved by strengthening research and outreach practices and networks. All right? It's not plagiarism. We're supposed to derive ours from this one. That's exactly what we did. Now, I'd like to say that what we're going to see and listen to today and tomorrow, we'll speak to the status where we are in these contributions to achieving these outcomes. At this point, even though I've mentioned some investors in general, I'd like to acknowledge the contribution by DFC, the Central Managing Center for our BSU projects, and the program offices. I can't call the names. They've been several. For the investors, I can, because I see Peter, I can remember University of Copenhagen, I can remember South University of Denmark, I can remember Aarhus, I can remember Obeck, and then the DTU, the Danish Technical University. We have worked with all these universities, and there's a lot we have achieved with. Our student has come. Christian joined, later transformed into a private entity which we needed so much in our program. So Christian, thank you for that transformation. Otherwise, we'll have missed that boat. Now, on this note, and once again, we are glad to have you here for this concluding seminar. I'd like to say to you, please, relax and enjoy the 2 days. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prof. Abedu. And I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Professor Philip Ncheje, Director of OGR, in our midst. Thank you. So I was going to introduce our Northern partners, but I see Prof. Abedu did it, but I still want to do it because he missed out a few names. So we have Olaf Sorensen. Let's put our hands together. We have Peter Furu at the back end. We have Kirill Maneski. And then Christian Greger. Yeah. So the next person I have to introduce, I'll tell you, is a man you'd like to have in your corner. He's a union leader true and true. If you'll be smiling sometime this week, a lot of it is due to the work he did before he left office. Besides his union leadership, he's an academic also. Does a lot of research in literature, communication, language. He has several publications. He describes himself as a friend of the media, and you know that by the act he does. He's been entrusted with the privilege of representing the Vice Chancellor of this university, Professor Rita Akosua-Dixon. We have none other but Professor Charles Ofosu-Mafo. Let's put our hands together for him.
Right. Good morning. The chairperson, Professor Bembanfu, the Danish consortial lead, Professor Torsten Rodelbeck. Actually, I want to prove my language skills and mention everything right. And the BSU project, KNUST-TEK anchor, Professor Ausia Bedu, provosts here, deans and directors, work package leaders and coordinators, the program, BSU activity holders, faculty and staff, distinguished invited guests, men and women of the media, ladies and gentlemen. On this special day, I consider it an honor to stand before such an illustrious personalities from across the globe to welcome you to our beautiful green campus. I hope you have observed that. You better observe that before you leave. You spend time to groom that, and so we want you to enjoy it. It is indeed heartwarming to see all of you gathered here this morning to participate in the two-day Building Stronger University project, normally called BSU, the Completion Seminar. KNUST rank as the destination for quality education, aligning with the fourth Sustainable Development Goal, benefited immensely from its decade-long partnership with the Building Stronger University. I think you've done well, and so I thought you would clap for yourself. Yeah. The journey with the BSU project has been a very insightful and rewarding one. Details of these will be shared with you by the project's anchor, work package leaders, activity coordinators, and staff through the captivating presentations and also documentaries. Personally, I participated in some of the project's training events, including academic writing, grantmanship, and entrepreneurship training and business incubation. I say in confidence that they were responsive to our needs at the time and have been immensely beneficial to me personally. From a general perspective, the BSU project has contributed to KNUST's recognition as a hub for innovative teaching, demand-driven research, and entrepreneurship. The project's contribution to this feat are typified in staff's access to highly improved research-responsive administrative processes and system, as we enjoy it right here at KNUST. This originated from the project's support to the Office of Grants and Research and the finance offices for timely and accurate financial monitoring and reporting, and for synchronization of data on research expertise and activities across the university. Its support to the university library has also led to the provision of comprehensive research data management services to all staff and students. The University Central Laboratory has seen increased patronage, and partly due to the BSU project support in terms of facility improvement and human capacity enhancement. The university's research administrative processes have also seen improvement owing to the establishment of administrative processes, including ethics and responsible conduct of research and functional intellectual property and technology transfer. These are desks that have been created at the Office of Grants and Research. The BSU project's support for the establishment of doctoral college and development of the thesis, deposition, and tracking systems, all at the School of Graduate Studies, have also improved graduate education and training in the university. A second notable outcome from the BSU project is reflected in the strong collaboration between KNUST researchers and industry partners and stakeholders, leading to the conduct of demand-driven research. This results from the work of the 3 functional and multidisciplinary research groups that were established by the BSU project. The research groups have contributed to KNUST's leading roles in the conduct of collaborative and demand-driven research in Ghana today. Additionally, with the help of the BSU project, KNUST staff benefited from exchange programs with universities in Denmark. Through these programs and the vibrant rules of KNUST Business Incubator, the university has become a destination for entrepreneurship training. We hope that these would make KNUST more visible in the years to come. Based on the aforementioned outcomes and many more that you will be learning during the 2-day seminar, I stand on behalf of the entire university community to disclose that we owe an enormous debt of gratitude to the good people of Denmark. And I think we need to show appreciation for that. I say I echo to the Danish Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Danish partner universities, and African partner universities. The Vice Chancellor and the management of this university is proud of their site and excited about these achievements. The university will continue to create the avenue for its community of members and partners to improve upon these outcomes in a sustainable manner. We are pursuing this through existing and development of new policies, providing financial support under the KNUST Research Fund, and continuing training of staff in relevant subjects. I'm convinced that the 2-day seminar will yield sufficient information to picture the successes of the BSU projects and its contribution to making KNUST the #1 destination for quality education globally. I also believe firmly that the seminar could yield network and provide research leads that can foster continuing collaborative research and action. I do hope that the seminar will identify gaps and lessons that inform further actions towards the sustainability of the progress made through the BSU interventions. I therefore heartily welcome you and everyone here to this seminar and our beautiful campus. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Next on our program, we are going to hear from 2 persons, Professor Abedu and then Christian Greger. Both were leads on Work Package 4, and so they'll be sharing with us the impact that we have benefited or we have received through the activities on Work Package 4. Prof, you come first or Christian comes first? Okay. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, thank you very much, Edmond, and good morning again. If you look at the program again, there are two names for each of the presentations, because the web package leadership is actually held by the North and the South partners. Of course, we should probably put them together, but as it was, couldn't do that. So much of it, what I would say, is also contained in Christian's presentation. So he's been tasked to listen attentively and add on to what will be missed. So you'll find him adding on to the outcomes and the what we think we've done, and then what we need to do as next steps. What I'm going to discuss with you by now has become well-known household information. You've observed them many, many times, but don't stay bored, is that right? Just follow up with me and then enjoy what I'm going to say. Now, is it on, please? The slides. Sorry, please. As for technology, is all right. It's normally controlled by too many people. What else we hear? Oh, it's me. Oh, it's not them. Sorry. So. Anyway, I'm fond of a very funny person, so you have to accommodate me. Yeah. Now we will talk about the impact. We are using impact here as an English word, not a project balance. All right. So because many of us will understand them differently, but what has changed? What has been brought the difference or shared differences? So for us, we'll just do normally the introduction, give you the overview, which I've done somehow, and achievements and the conclusion recommendations. When it gets to the achievement section, that's where a Christian will add on. Now, we want to state how we came here. We do a project identification, which I've already mentioned. That before 2011, we taught KNUST phase fully managed graduate education and training processes, which was true. KNUST had limited essential research infrastructure. We had low level of financial support to students for research purposes. We had low graduate students completion rates, and we had low manuscripts turnouts. That was the basis. So to be able to, and because probably we're not as strong, is that right? So the concept of stronger university only meant that we were able to address these problems that we identified as faced by KNUST. Now, so I've mentioned earlier on that I was supposed to strengthen research and staff capacity via the provision of doctoral training, which will show, consequently, how much we've done there. We wanted to extend and focus on external stakeholders to conduct a collaborative and impactful research. Impactful in the sense that when you're part of it and you are owner of it, you contribute to or you sustain the impact or the result that we get out of these interventions. Now, we also said that we'll further expand our administrative capabilities for research. There's a lot we've seen already. The outreach and stakeholder partnership in multidisciplinary research, which you see tomorrow from the web package 1 and 3, where the science happened. Then we wanted to bolster the university's overall capacity for research. Now the supports for web package 4 cover the university-wide research support services and supportive facilities. We just had Bsu II initiating that process, and Bsu III are continuing that. And these included, if I start from one, for my right, which you might want to follow, is a timely and accurate financial monitoring and reporting on externally funded research projects. 2, support for improved research staff activities and grant proposals. 3, support towards increased usage of central laboratory facilities and services by researchers. And 4, support for improved knowledge on research data management. 5, operationalization of doctoral college and provision of university-wide PhD courses. And 6, development of functional automated integrated system for PhD education processes. Now, we just touch briefly on each of these areas. So we said that prior to BSU projects, KNUST had just begun developing university-wide grants management system. A video will come up and will tell you how we got into that. OGR, with the support of BSU, produced a functional grants management and account management systems, we call the GAMS, and a research management information system. Now, if you are sitting in your office, you can log into this system with a username and a password, which are usually your university username and password. You can get access and identify the projects that have been registered in there, the PIs, those who are leading, sometimes how much money they have brought in, and what publications they have made. They are all in the same space, which I think is lovely. Now, if you, this figure or graph shows how we have gone, the progress that we have made. Is that right? And now we can think about those that have been registered. There are many more programs have not been registered, but these are those that have been registered. And on the average, or cumulatively, we have close to 214 grants that have been registered in GAMS. If you touch on improved knowledge for research data management, again, prior to BSU projects, we have fragmented information on research data management practices. Majority, 80% of the library staff had little or no knowledge on research data management, while there was no policy on guidelines for the regulation of research data management practices. And the BSU addressed these gaps. It trained library staff in RDM and also drafted at least one policy on research data management. So if you go to the KNUST site, you can find this draft document, and this will guide you in how to manage research data that you collect. Is that right? Ownership of data that you collect becomes extremely important. And you can find what policies guide our actions on the campus. To the research, again to the library. Now if you go to the library, you find a dedicated area we call the research commons, where there's a lot of privacy, a serene environment that you can do all those. And we try to provide overarching softwares like the NVivo, the ArcGIS to enhance research on campus. All right. And of course, we miss some of these aspects, and we're still working on this to make sure that they happen. What actually happened was that KNUST had already gotten into that intervention, and therefore ours got submerged in that activity. So overall, KNUST still has it, but then we can't claim that wholly for the BSU too. Now the pictures will show what our southern, these are from the University of, Southern University of Denmark, they call them, okay. Now, they were our partners for the library activities, and we find them helping us to open our grant access to research commons, for which the ambassador for Danish Ambassador to Ghana was here, and she was very excited to be part of this. Now to the central laboratory, we had only 150 staff members accessing the facility annually, and it processed approximately 20,000. Okay. BSU supported the Central Laboratory to create modules for what? Fundamental theories and principles governing specific techniques, how to do your sampling, the processes, and the preparations, how to incorporate quality analysis, advanced data interpretation, and how to interpret your result. The implications of the results you obtain. You all learn that from the data that you generate using these lab facilities. Now, because of the interventions, we have about 84 to 99% patronage of the Central Library between 2020 and 2022. That is remarkable. And in part, this is a quotation from the Central Laboratory. I hope it's not Edmond, but somebody else. In part, the BSU activities have improved the visibility of the lab and services it offers. Our clients have come to recognize us as a reliable lab that offers quality data. These are benefits from the BSU 2 and 3 interventions, including training, laboratory quality management, and proper use of technologies, and preventive maintenance. These have culminated in reduction of our equipment downtimes. All right. So that is what they say from the lab. We continue with the doctoral courses. Now with resource persons drawn from KNUST-TEK, BSU supported universities, Gayo School had to pilot some of these courses that we developed. And we managed to reach several of these students. Before our interventions, we did not treat the graduate students as the same way as what the undergraduate students. Is that right? So BSU, through our zeal to get into best practices, decided that, okay, let's create these documents to guide the doctoral training processes. And I believe that those of you who have obtained your PhD in this process have realized that these were really useful materials to guide. These included graduate students' handbook, which mirrored the undergraduate students' handbook. We didn't have that. Guide for graduate students as supervision, a very thorny area, how to relate with your supervisors. Not only here, in many places, it's a huge problem. Then we had a guide for preparation and evaluation of thesis from graduate students. Now, I call this a marking scheme, is that right? We prepared a marking scheme for you to appreciate how your thesis will be assessed by the external examiners. Then we had a guide for higher degree research, which included some of the publication issues that become very thorny between supervisors and their students. Who becomes the first author? Who becomes the second author? And what are the best practices guiding this? All these were captured in these documents. Now, we also thought that you cannot make it only with your technological know-how. You need the soft skills, right? So BSU intervened by providing materials on soft skills, and this included the academic writing and scholarly presentation. How do you do academic writing? And Peter, thank you very much for starting from BSU 1 to BSU 3, being part of this trial. How do you conduct responsible research? Well, many of us struggle with qualitative research. When do you invoke the mixed methods approach? And also, how do you network? And so that you can engage in a larger collaborative research activities. Now, we show this graph here to inform you about the graduation rate, how many PhD and how many MPhil students graduate every year. The dip you see there is because we had only one graduation date in that particular, that is 2020. We always attribute it to COVID or many other things, but there was only one graduation rate. But you could see a gradual increase, all right, in the graduation rates of our students. From BSU around probably less than 50, now you can think about over 100, all right? And every year you see these numbers increasing because they are now, they have more access to their supervisors. Supervisors are more responsive based upon these guidelines that we have created through BSU. Now we try to look at something very, which is contestable. We call this the graduation rates. We have two graphs there. The blue, I hope it's blue. Men don't know colors very well. The blue, those who completed on time. PhD those on time. And those who did not. Okay. Now, how did you estimate this? This is highly conservative. Very highly conservative. When you come in, you have index number. Is that right? So when you came in 2020 and KNUST said you have to complete in 4 years, 2024, if you get to graduate there, it means you were successful. If we did not, you were not successful. All right? But we all know that many things happen. The nuances are just tremendous. All right? So we are showing this so that we call KNUST's attention. How do you review this? How do you classify those who actually finish early or do not finish early? And I hope our Northern partners will tell us whether or not it's very common to finish within the time that you are given. Probably not, right? Nowadays, we have our students almost working full-time. So what time do they have? So is it 4 years is a realistic measure of what the period for which you should finish your program. But it's nice. You see, at least, if you just start from 2013, you can find that it went up, is that right? And we need to find out what happened, what conditions what went wrong. And this we call the lessons learned. And for every project, you have to learn these lessons so you can improve on your interventions. So we'll not show you what went right only. We are interested to show you what went wrong, and the investor will take it up and remanage it in a way that we keep soaring. Right, so we try to take in some perceptions of students. Now we know that 1 in 2 PhD students see their supervisors as team players. Right? In the past, they thought they were enemies. No. Now they say we are doing it together. It's gone. Okay. What did he do again? The technical staff, please, can you get us on? But let me continue. I think in terms of time, by the time we come, you should be on. Okay, it's on again. Then 1 in 5 considered their supervisors as coaches and mentors. As for the styles, 51% of the students, again, 1 in 2, found them directional, and others find them contractual. Now we have descriptions of whether a supervisor is pastoral, is directional, is contractual, or laissez-faire, the one who do not care, all right? So luckily we don't have anybody reporting on the last one. That doesn't become really beneficial to the students. So the team, we expect that supervisors will become team players. We expect that supervisors to become contractual. Okay, if you become a directional, probably it's also good. But before you understand it, probably you have to step back and try to explain to yourself what these terminologies mean. The most exciting one, I think, is the automated and integrated system. Now everything is online. Is that right? I know it's been a war, but it's just been so successful. Now we don't handle these hard copies. Is that right? You go in and you submit everything online. Your reports are submitted online. Students can go in and find out who is delaying on what, on the submission of on their reports. So at the moment, this year, we have 1,713 theses that have been submitted through this process. And I think this is very wonderful. And if BSU has been part of it, we should be very happy with it. So those lecturers who have been assessing this, initially it can be difficult, but it's so flexible. It's just, we are not cutting down the trees anymore, is that right? Many of us are cutting down the trees and making papers out of them and creating climate disasters. So these autonomic systems, for me, I think it's wonderful. And I believe that the provost of College of Agri-Natural Resources will be happy with this because no more trees are going to be wasted. Right. We also believe that the interventions from Work Package 4 into the graduate school processes have led to the increased number of publications arising from KNUST. This is only Scopus only. Scopus only, is that right? Not the others. It could be more. And from that low level of 600 to 1,200, that is doubled. No, sorry, 1,600. From 245 to 1,600. That's a lot of what? Increase. And this is only Scopus. And you can ask me, why are you claiming this for KNUST, BSU? Yes, BSU, because BSU, through the interaction, said that at least every PhD student must submit 2 manuscripts before graduation. Is that right? So we can claim that that in itself, right, led to this enormous increase in our publications. Is that right? I know people who are canvassing that now it shouldn't be only submission, it should be publications. But let's go slow at that one because there could be problems. So we've done that very well. We've also looked at the publication ratio. That is the per capita. All right? Yes, we are doing so much, but how many people are doing that? Okay. We still believe that we've gone over 1.2 from our initial 0.3. That's a lot of what higher jump in that respect. Okay, I think we deserve some applause, round of applause for these interventions. And if we continue on this trajectory, I'm sure our per capita, I'm sure it is 5. It's not 1.2. You never know. Okay, but it's important metric that we have to take note of and make sure that we are picking up on that. We are being recognized so widely. Of course, there's a lot more that we have to do. So in some summary conclusion, we think that we have contributed significantly to these frameworks and systems. It is evident that the staff have access to highly improved research responsive administrative process. And the OGI director is here, he will attest to that. And KNUST presence in Scopus landscape has improved significantly. I hate to add this recommendation, but it's part of the sustainability issue that we have to discuss probably tomorrow. We need to make sure that we operationalize the mandatory courses to all the PhD students. Without the soft skills, you can't make significant progress. We need that so much. The OGR is been carrying out the workshops, the right shops. I think we should, OGR director, we should continue. I know you are doing that next month or week. You are somewhere going to write. You are doing that. That is wonderful. We want to make sure that we have institutionalized whatever achievement we've made in the university system, right? The publication of PhDs, I know I hold less trend on that. I don't want to go there. Grant proposal writing has been going on, and we also even have an award scheme that comes up all the time for those who have performed. We have to reward success. We have to reward success. And how do we do that? At this point, let me ask Christian to add on to what he said through his presentation. I think it's here. This one to get. Okay, this one. Okay, that one. Right. So just the outcomes.
I'm not sure whether it will be online. It's there. Okay. I'm just going to echo a bit what Prof just said. We all know he can speak a lot, so thank you for that. But overall, it's focusing on sort of what are the outcomes within BSU 3. And it's divided into these thematic areas in terms of finance and grants management, which relate to area 1 and 2. You have enhanced finance and grant systems, which has already been elaborated, even training of staff in order to use the systems. One thing is having a system, another thing is to use it correctly. You have received, or you have enhanced skills on various trainings, focusing on financial management at large. What are the basics? What are the good principles? What are the good practices? Same on grants management, and also looking towards donor compliance. At the end of the day, if the system is not working, we can do a lot of great research, but if the money doesn't add up, we are at risk of losing that funding. That's as basic as it is, unfortunately. You have much more advanced knowledge in terms of doing knowledge sharing with fellow BSU universities. There has been several sessions on finance and administrative topics in terms of doing grants management. There has been meetings held in Arusha, Tanzania, where KNUST-TEK has participated. And last year, KNUST-TEK actually hosted yet another session with visitors from UG and from Susa on Zanzibar, very much focusing on these topics. I'll get back to this towards the end. There has been an enhancement on various policies and SOPs in order to strive to much more donor compliance. That will include a policy on sexual harassment. That is a donor requirement. If you don't have it, you basically can't get funding. You have articulated measurements, mitigation, safeguarding mechanisms on anti-corruption and unethical behaviors as well. And also within the BSU, we have actually sort of developed a set template for how to do an SOP, which is a standard operating procedure. So the work and the framework for doing the research has become much better. And also there has been upgrading in terms of the knowledge base by creating an office and services focusing on IP, intellectual property rights, and also tech transfer. This was actually a come out from a study visit going to Copenhagen and to Aarhus as well, where we saw the opportunity and we actually got additional funding to actually also cater for this one. So I think, again, you have been in a driving seat, and I think you need to compliment yourself. Very briefly on the library services, there has been an upgrading again on the research space. There has been a baseline. Prof has already shown you some of the initial documentation on that. There is a practice in terms of doing RDM. You have enhanced skills from trainings on how to manage this, how to operate the databases and all that. There has been great and intense knowledge sharing and sparring with the Danish staff from various universities in BSU 3. It was with Tove, as far as I recall. And there's also been some upgrading on the library database as such, so very tangible. And again, I think you are in a much more advanced position as prior to BSU 3. So again, I think you need to applaud yourself. Thank you. And the last bit I'm going to touch upon, because this is where Danish resources were actually directly involved, is towards the laboratory services. Edmund, you're here. Good to see you, by the way. But you have, through BSU 3, enhanced skills from various trainings, which has actually been identified based on your needs. So this was not Denmark coming and say, oh, we want to train you in A, B, and C. This was actually based on what are your needs. So again, remember that going forward as well. It should be based on your needs, not what Denmark can provide for you in terms of technicalities. And overall, you have also done a lot of knowledge sharing on lab management practices, again with sparring and knowledge sharing with Danish staff, in particular from the University of Copenhagen. And it has also included some study stays, or one at least, in Denmark. And there has been some investment in equipment. There's been development of inventory list, mapping of the services, machines, and the know-how. So again, you have actually made sure that the footprint from Bsu Iii is very visible also in this aspect, with the mapping of all the services and what is available at what time. So again, Edmund, great. If I should just go back very briefly, there has also been a Bsu I and a Bsu II, of course. Those are actually what Bsu III has been built upon. And again, this is focusing on the finance and administration area. But throughout Bsu I and II, there has been a vast amount of training of staff to make sure that skills, know-how, and practices have been enhanced in order to perform better financial operations and cater better for grants management. There has been several sessions on knowledge sharing and sparring with staff from Denmark, study stays also in Denmark several times. I think, Prof, you've been, 2 or 3 times? So you're a Danish expert already. There has been actually also, and I want to highlight this, there has been training done by KNUST-TEK staff. I have actually hired 2 of your staff to do training at another Bsu university. And the training was on grants management and library functions and services. And this was Nadia and Bruce who actually was hired by me to do this training at another university. So it's just to emphasize, you have the skills, you have the know-how, and you know how to do this already. You just need the invitation. And of course, there has been a lot of investment in equipment and strengthening the entire infrastructure from a financial management perspective and also from the grants management perspective. I know this is sort of an ending seminar for Bsu Iii, so I've just taken the liberty of looking ahead, what will come afterwards. Reality is that there is a Bsu IV. This only includes Gulu University in Uganda, Susa from Zanzibar, and then Hargeisa from Somaliland. So only 3 universities will remain. I think we have already proven that KNUST-TEK could actually be a very active collaborator and a mentor for some of these universities in a direct South-South collaboration. I'm attending with several colleagues sort of the round-off Bsu Iii seminar held in Tanzania next week. And once again, I will promote this to make sure that they actually look your way. It's much better for these universities to go to you. You know the context, you know the challenges in a very different way from Danish universities do. So I will promote this once again. Thank you.
Right. So let me just conclude by saying that there's evidence that we will lead the South-South collaboration. Actually, when you go to Gulu, they own their craftsmanship development to KNUST. They've learned things from here. Zanzibar will come over to learn. OJI director, you got to be ready, all right? They will come. And we have to demonstrate that what we acquired through Bsu II and III is now being shared across with our partners in the South. We've also done a lot for, even within the countries, all right? The tech investors are coming in so that we give them this training. We almost sold our software, but we couldn't do that. We are seeing the process. For all you know, we have what royalties coming from our software.
So that's
you're part of it, don't worry. Anyway, thank you very much for listening to this web package presentation. We'll follow this with some expressions in the video, a compilation as to how far we have come with this BSU 2 and BSU 3. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Just handle it.
Bsu project has been instrumental in fostering a research-friendly environment through its collaboration with the Office of Grants and Research.
And it was established around the
Over the past decade, the Bsu project has been instrumental in fostering a research-friendly environment through its collaboration with the Office of Grants and Research.
and it was established around the time that BSU 2 began its implementation, and it was quite timely because the office had plans and initiatives they wanted to roll out, and it was able to include these as a BSU work package to be able to get support from BSU, networking from BSU, collaborations from BSU to be able to implement these initiatives and get the office to be able to function in the way that it wanted to.
The office has received significant support through the BSU partnership to carry out many of its efforts. Over the past decade, the BSU project has been instrumental in fostering a research-friendly environment through its collaboration with the Office of Grants and Research.
And it was established around the time that BSU 2 began its implementation, and it was quite timely because the office had plans and initiatives they wanted to roll out, and it was able to include these as a BSU work package to be able to get support from BSU, networking from BSU, collaborations from BSU to be able to implement these initiatives and get the office to be able to function in the way that it wanted to.
The office has
So we'll take advantage, colleagues, of the technical hitch, and then we'll take a snack break, because snack is ready. Thank you. So, colleagues, snack break is for 20 minutes, and then we'll be back in here. Thank you.
effort through the BSU partnership to carry out many of these activities.
Hello, please, we would like to do a group photo outside, just outside the door. So if you could indulge us for a group photo, and then we come back in. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much, and welcome back. We'll take our video in the next 20 minutes, and then we'll be back with more impact stories for you. Thank you.
Over the past decade, the BSU project has been instrumental in fostering a research-friendly environment through its collaboration with the Office of Grants and Research.
And it was established around the time that BSU II began its implementation. And it was quite timely because the office had plans and initiatives it wanted to roll out, and it was able to include these as a BSU work package to be able to get support from BSU networking from BSU, collaborations from BSU to be able to implement these initiatives and get the office to be able to function in the way that it wants it to.
The office has received significant support through the BSU partnership to carry out many of these activities. These include the development of the research and grants management system that provide timely and accurate records on grants across the university.
Whenever management needed information of grants in the form of number of projects, total budgets, number of funders, among other things, OGR had to go across the university and pick these information manually. And these resulted in untimely data and then also probably inaccurate information. Then came BSU Iii Work Package 4, which brought about the constitution of a team of accountants, research managers, and then developers. So we came together to develop, knowing the problem at hand. We developed two systems. They actually worked together. And so we had the REMIS, that is the Research Management Information Systems, and also the GAMS, that is the Grants Accounting Management System.
Prior to the inception of BSU, many people did not even know OGR. And many of the activities that BSU did was in collaboration with the Office of Grants and Research. And so we tackled the capacity building aspect where we organized series of capacity building workshops on grant proposal writing. We did scientific writing. We've done so many workshops that were all aimed at building the capacity of our researchers to attract more grants and also to do research in the right way. And because of this, I believe that it gave the office more visibility.
Through the intervention of BSU projects, led to the establishment of KNUST-TEK Intellectual Property Units, which has been inculcated into the university system under the Office of Grants and Research.
During the inception or before the inception of the BSU project, BSU II, the library had dedicated a space that was going to be used as research commons, a technology-driven environment more for research, geared toward promoting research for faculty, researchers, and postgraduate students. The exposure that was given to the staff of library helped or made us think of getting very high impact factor databases, very good, credible databases with high impact factor journals. In the end, all this is geared towards promoting research-intensive environment.
For us at Central Lab, we have started the process of putting up this facility and installing technologies between 2014 and early 2015. By end of first quarter 2015, we were up and running. And a couple of months down the line, BSU II would start with us. At our initial stages and having the opportunity to work with high-end technologies, we were a bit skeptical. And so the interaction with BSU II at the time was more to give us some firm grounding so that we could better manage the technologies that we had here, reduce equipment run times, get the technologies to perform at their optimum best, and then ultimately get our clients, who are the researchers and students, the data that they were looking for. And BSU II was good for us because it helped, particularly myself and the other technicians we had in here, to build our expertise around laboratory management and then also proper use of the technologies we had here.
The BSU dedicated a whole work package, I think 1 out of 4, to research support and research management. And some of the interventions that were included in that work package that supported the Office of Grants and Research included building, for instance, developing our research management information system, our grant accounting management system, supporting the development of some of the policies, research-related policies at KNUST, providing training and capacity strengthening of the staff of the Office of Grants and Research, as well as collaborative visits to other institutions that had more established research management support systems where we could learn and also apply to our own context. So those were a few of the interventions that the BSU supported our office with.
As an office, some of our staff have also been exposed to best practices in research and grants management through their involvement in the North-South and South-South activities and other capacity building workshops that have been organized by the BSU project.
Through these partnerships, we have learned how they do their grants management. We have also learned how they handle their research, and these were all done through the BSU under the Work Package 4. We have established contact with our Danish partners, and even beyond BSU, we are able to collaborate. So apart from the North-South partnership that we have done, we have also established South-South partnership with some of the BSU partner countries like Uganda, Tanzania. We organize network meetings where our colleagues from South universities came around, even our people from the University of Ghana, University of Cape Coast, they all came around to deliberate on how we can move our grants management agenda forward, all sponsored by BSU. And I believe these partnerships have really brought us together to build a strong grants management front for the university and even for our country. We've had people come from Uganda, Gulu University, to understudy our office when they were going to establish their own version of grants and management office. And these were all sponsored with the support of BSU.
Under the leadership of the Director of the Office of Grants and Research, Professor Ncheje, the unit has and continue to provide administrative procedures, evaluating of technologies, protection of KNUST innovations and licenses of these technologies to impact the life of the community and also to support our industry.
So in the course of the BSU project, we became very conversant with managing the technologies and then keeping them running as best as we could possibly do. Then we didn't end our interactions from there. The successes from BSU 2, coupled with other interventions that were being run in the university, we managed to get our technologies running for a couple of years. And so then when BSU 3 came on board, our interest was to help develop courses so that we could use these training courses or training workshops to develop the expertise of others beyond the central lab. So we open ourselves up to the rest of the university, and in this regard, we run laboratory courses that dealt with proper use again of technologies, but more importantly, trying to teach other technicians university-wide how to better use the technologies they had in their various departments, and then also maintain the technologies and keep them running for longer hours.
KNUST is a leading institution in Africa that aims to advance science, technology, and innovation. Our vision as a university is to be among the top 10 universities in Africa. To achieve this vision, we needed to foster a culture of excellence, innovation, and collaboration among our graduate students and faculty. This is why we partnered with the BSU project, which supported us to develop 4 policy documents. And these include Graduate Students Handbook Guidelines for Higher Degree Research supervision, guidelines for preparation and evaluation of thesis, then policy on publication. Establish a doctoral college and an online thesis deposition and management system for managing PhD thesis. These initiatives have enhanced the quality and efficiency of our graduate program. The online deposition and management system simplifies the submission and processing of PhD thesis in the university. The system has been expanded to include all graduate theses in the university and has recorded about 1,800 submissions. The system also provides access to the rich database of research outputs that can be used for learning and dissemination.
I attended the BSU, the Building Stronger Universities, workshop seminar, which was in a collaboration with the graduate school and the Graduate Student Association. I remember we had about 4 sessions. One of them focused on systematic literature review. The other focused on an overview of manuscript-based thesis. The other also focused on how to manage your time during your PhD course or journey. And another one also focused on student-supervisor relationship. I would say that attending these programs have been of immense benefit to me. Currently, I am writing a manuscript-based thesis, and this has been so helpful.
I was able to get advice and the guidelines on how to structure my manuscript-based thesis, and as at now, I am true and clear with the idea about how to go about with my manuscript-based thesis.
I attended a number of the research series organized by BSU and GRASAC and also the graduate school. And I got to understand that supervisors are very unique and each has their own style of supervision. So as students, we have to understand their style and learn how to work with them to facilitate the work and also the supervision role.
Doctoral and research students needed soft skills to achieve their academic success. The soft skills we acquired includes proposal writing, scientific writing, networking, that is peer-to-peer relationship, mentorship, and also communication and presentation skills. These skills are needed to complement our technical knowledge and expertise. This also helps research students to become more productive, not just in their academic journey, but also in their future careers, whether in business, academia, industry, and others.
I would say that the library has really benefited in terms of infrastructure, service, professional way of doing things by the librarians, and then supporting strongly in the area of research, supporting in the area of, for instance, another area too is the waiver, where the librarians are able to push and encourage researchers to publish in open access journals, and hence helping them to get waiver as article processing charges.
And I also happen to be spearheading and coordinating the work package 4 that focused on the research support systems together with other stakeholders, research support stakeholders across the university. And so it granted me the opportunity to be involved in many of the capacity strengthening activities, in even developing the systems together as well. And I got the opportunity to receive training from some of the Danish institutions when we visited regarding research management, research support. But not just that, I also got the opportunity to provide training to other institutions within the broader BSU network. And All those levels of interactions grew me, provided growth for me as a person within the field.
The support from BSU has assisted me in realizing my professional goals in fostering intellectual property and innovation in my university.
For us, we see that this engagement with BSU has been very good because we started off at a time where we had little or no experience with some of the technologies we had, but our interactions with our northern partners helped us roughen the edges of some of the skills we had, and then the things that we even didn't think we knew, we could do them better. And we have continued with these interactions even beyond the BSU engagements, and we think that BSU for KNUST Central Lab was a good thing. And it's the other key bit for us is that we are able to say that because of some of the interventions of the BSU, been able to identify and focus clearly on the things that are more important for a laboratory like ours to function.
As an office, I must also stress that the BSU project has enabled us to develop a number of grants and research-related policies that govern how research and grants are dispersed across the university.
I believe BSU has really made an impact on how our university is able to conduct its research and even manage the grants that come in.
The experiences we've gathered, we continue to improve so that we do not stay at the same level.
We are grateful to the Danish government, our partners from the north, and also those from the south. And I must say all those who have contributed in diverse ways in making the BSU project a success and also contributing to the development of the Office of Grants and Research.
I would like to thank Danida and the BSU government for providing this support, but also even for coming up with this initiative. The BSU initiative is quite unique in several ways. One of the ways is that it ran in 3 different phases, from BSU 1, BSU 2, and BSU 3. And that type of longevity is able to provide a certain growth and capacity strengthening that is different and more beneficial than those that can be curtailed after a few years. So that in itself is a unique feature of the BSU and very beneficial to KNUST. Secondly, it covered aspects beyond the conduct of research itself. It covered research support systems as well across different parts of the university, including the library, including our Office of Grants and Research, including the conduct of research itself. And I think that wide range of support was very beneficial for KNUST. So I'd like to thank the Danida, the Danish government, as well as the collaborating institutions from Denmark and other countries that participated in this for this unique opportunity and the benefits it accorded KNUST. Thank you.
So as we say here in Ashanti region and in Kumasi, Asidankwa, that is to say, thank you very much to the Danish government and the support they've given us through this BSU 2 and 3 projects. And our expectation is that more interactions can follow through from this so that we can remain as a strong institution. Thank you.
We want to thank the Danish government for such a project in establishing such a critical unit for the university. As the unit grows, we hope that the impact will not only benefit the university, but the continent as a whole.
Building stronger universities, a decade and over of strengthening research capacity at KNUST.
And there are more stories, individual stories to to share on what BSU has done. Next up, we'll invite Professors William Odro and Olaf Sorensen to walk us through the impact of Work Package 2. What you've heard earlier is impact from Work Package 4. So we'll hear from Work Package 2 on their stories as well.
Thank you very much, Edmund. What we're going to do is that I will try and take us through what we did and the output. Then Sama Kumia and then Isaac Dodu will come and take you through the impact, that is the change that our activities and output have brought to the university. So that is what we'll do on this. Where did you put? Yeah, my PowerPoint. Not that one, that one. Because that one will check this one. Yeah, this one. This one is 4. Okay. All right, so that is what I'm going to do. Olaf is there. And we're going to look at the activities and then the output. So what we did, that fueled into the products, is what we're going to look at. And when we started the project, it was 2017, 2018, what we did was to involve the pilot processes as change agents, and we identified all the stakeholders. So we did a stakeholder analysis, working together with WP1 and WP3. We went to our various places, WP3 to OAB, and all those areas, and they identified the problems that the stakeholders needed. And we designed materials with this. Then we also organized some training workshops with the supervisors and researchers in all the colleges. We did some advert, and we had some workshops around here, the first one that started in November 2018. We continued with some training workshops again, made some calls, and this one with the colleges and everybody, all trying to make sure that our research are translated into businesses and the businesses into market. Because remember, what we are looking at innovation and entrepreneurship, and that is our goal as WP2. So supervisors and students had to meet. Prior to this, when students are carrying out their research, they were doing something different. By this time, we are trying to change the mindsets of the students and the lecturers so they can look at business coming out of their research. So all these things went on to deliver an output. And the output is that KNUST staff and students making use of innovative processes and exploring entrepreneurial opportunities as part of their learning and research. So you realize that if you look at KNUST, before BSU 3 and 2, anytime we did research, the students would just go and carry out a research and then they published, and that was the end. But that shouldn't be the case. We have to go in and look at the problems that would translate into businesses, and we carry out research on that. So that should have been the case, but that has not been what we've been doing before. So we went into 2.1, continue with the activities. So we had a North-South consultative meeting. Again, this time we are looking at the incubator. And what it means is that in a university like this, if you want to establish a business, the students will have to move into a incubator where they will grow up their projects, they will grow up their businesses. So equipment were procured, again with a fund, and some Akumia will come in and go into the change properly, looking into the incubator in the next presentation. So what we did, we also called for businesses from all the colleges. It was advertised, and students that had ideas, innovative ideas, brought their businesses ideas, and then we sat down, made selection of them, and then they went into the incubator. And they were trained for over 1 year to develop their ideas into businesses and to go into commercialization. All these activities gave us an output. And the output is that KNUST will have a well-equipped learning hub for innovative activities. And these have been established, and it is here on this campus. Our next work to do was also to look at the components of an AI, academic-industry relationship. How do we do that? We now have to prepare an equipment that can do that, and an app had to be developed. So this app that was developed, again, some Akumia will come and launch that with Isaac Dodu. So we had a collaborative meetings with industries, and we also did a prototype exhibition that went on. We did that last week. These ones all have to end up in an output that academia industry networks were developed to facilitate the innovations, outreach, and entrepreneurship. The people that did all these things, we have our northern partners, Jacob Raven, who is not here, and Olaf, who is my partner, who is here, and myself, Samara Kumia, Kwame Owusu, and then Owusu Kwatim. These were supported by Isaac, and then Abina, Professor Abidu, and then some TAs. What were the outcomes of this? So you now have the output. The output have to generate some outcome to bring some change in the university. But let me just tell you the first thing. Now, what has been happening in the university before the BSU, and it's happening most times in our university, is the classical thing that I'm just showing on the board. All our research before this time is all been university-driven research. In other words, the students go in, they get the theoretical framework, the principles, the concepts, they do a little bit of community engagement, they do the analysis, and then you also have, it moves into conclusion and teaching, they'll use it for teaching. But the classical research is that, yes, you observe something, and then you think that you can develop a problem out of it. Then you come out with your hypothesis. After the hypothesis, you set your experiments, field experiments, and then you collect your data, analyze the data. After the data, then you just conclude, and that is the end, and that is what we've been doing, and then you publish your paper. Bsu Iii is showing this. You can look from the left, my left, that you have non-innovative SMEs, that are small and medium industries, and moving into innovative small and medium industries, where you now have what we call the companies with research and development. These are big multimedia companies, and they will need research from us. So to grow a business, you move from my left to the right. Now you look at that on my left, all it had been in the past is all publications. You have research database and so forth. When you come into the middle where you are getting good users, you see more network activities here. Then the student projects. And on my right where you have strong users, this word here, patency, become very, very important, and then it leads into spin-outs, which are the businesses where you get into the incubator and so forth. There's more collaboration here, and it's also lifelong sharing at this place when you want to have these strong users. What we are doing, KNUST is doing, and BSU has done, it has moved KNUST from here, not completely, but trying to get to the right, where you have more patents coming to this place. This patent is basically money. If you want to talk about getting grants, here is where you work, and your research works more here in this place than working in this place alone. A food for thought that I want you to look at. If you look at this place in terms of ranking of universities in Africa, and it is so today, that almost all the universities in Africa are being ranked based on research output, high-level publications, and so forth. If you go to Canada, just look at here. They are ranked based on this patency, funding and endowment, Nobel awards, industrial linkages. So if we want to be ranked here, KNUST will have to move from these traditional publications, always sitting down, but going to this place. Look at the United States. United States about Nobel Prizes and also field medals, in other words, patency and industries. If you go to Europe, that is Denmark that we are dealing with, and Germany also, they are being ranked based on industry income. Our ranking has been here. BSU say no. For us, KNUST, we need to move to this place. It means that the incubator becomes very important. Creation of wealth becomes very, very important. We cannot continue as a country to be unemployed and to be poor. We need to create more businesses to solve our problem. So I'll just talk about the sustainability issue. How do we sustain this thing that we have started? In order to get to the right, where we get our students no longer going to look at papers that have been published, but there is also journals, businesses that have been created, and we call them patent libraries, databases. There are about 1 million and over of all these things around. You send your students to go to those areas to go and look at those journals and businesses that have been developed and look at the gaps, build them up, and then develop them. But how do you sustain that? So BSU 2 is going to be sustained by this great idea. Now, if you look at our mission, and I draw out sustainability from this, a mission guides the universities, how they go and what they do. But I just want to read something that you know, and I'll put it in red. KNUST exists to advance knowledge in science and technology through creating an environment for undertaking relevant research, 1, quality teaching, entrepreneurship training, and community engagement. Now, this is enough to assure you that WP2 or BSU 3 will continue to thrive because of this mission, and it's going to sustain what we are doing. When the Vice Chancellor came in, she had to draw her vision statement from KNUST mission, and I want to read that one on my right. To position KNUST as a competitive global research intensive institution to advance in science and technology for industrial, social uptake towards sustainable national and global development. Her thematic area, which she has set up people to lead the thematic areas, are as follows. And look at it again. WP2 bites into each one of them. It's a human capital development, and if you've been listening to BSU 3, WP4 is all about human capital development, important research and innovation, digitization, ICT, entrepreneurship drive for students. So what it means is that we as lecturers are now going to have a mindset together with the students. Students are going to carry out research with a mindset of taking the research into the incubator, into the business space. 5, infrastructural development. 6, constructive partnership. 7, resource generation and management, and that one is bolding. And 8, making KNUST visible in the global world. KNUST no longer is going to stay on the left side, but we are trying to move to the right. So policy documents have been developed, and these, when they are implemented, it will lead to what is on my right. Innovation, entrepreneurship is sustained. The sustainability of entrepreneurship is based on, underpinned by policy documents which have all been developed, OGR, graduate school, all those areas, a lot of policy documents that have been developed for KNUST because BSU has contributed to all these. What are the lessons that I've learned from these? Now, this lesson is something that I felt looking at the projects that we've been doing over the years. You see inclusive sharing, gender sustainability. If you look at the leadership of BSU 3, it's all male-dominated. Myself, the anchor, WP3, WP4, WP2, it's all males. And I asked myself, where are the women? In fact, for the first time for 70 years, almost 70 years, we've had the first vice chancellor that's a female. When women stand for positions in this university, they are intimidated, harassed, embarrassed. And of truth, this is not something that is to be encouraged. And it's something that I've just learned, and I felt that we should look at it. So inclusion and diversity for research, we should look at that. Disability people should be included. Women should be included. And even in scientific publishing, we expect that this should be encouraged. The next one is horizontal communication. But I learned that when we communicate horizontally, college to college, it builds what we call family. And we work together as a university to progress. But without that, it will become very difficult. What's my conclusion? My conclusion is what you see at the top. That KNUST is now positioned as the globally number 4 of the SDGs. This, I want to say that BSU 3 has contributed to that. And summarizing my conclusion, this Olaf sent this one to me yesterday, and I said this is a very good thing. Olaf says, incubator with tenants with an idea striving to make prototypes. And that is great, and that is what we have. Commercialization of research findings. We have a broad spectrum of programs on entrepreneurship based on innovation that is giving lecturers a weight to teach entrepreneurship and students an entrepreneurial, emotive, innovative mindset, and that is important. The mindset is being shifted from the traditional taking topics, and the topics, after you have found that they are published and they are scopus, there is something, and that is the end, it will not solve our employment problem. It's not. That's what we've been doing all these years. The mindset now is that, yes, I'm going to go into the patent database, the industries, engage industries, pick problems, solve the problems, and the problems will be useful for the industries. If they're not for the industries, I can set it up, set a business as a small, medium enterprise businesses. And that should be the mindset. And I can employ more people. KBI, which is the Kumasi Business Incubator Hub, is an excellent place for creating an entrepreneurial, innovative culture with few facilities, but that is the problem for making prototypes. What is lacking is a closer collaboration with various departments with expertise and equipment related to various technical issues. So we're here again, you find that most of the departments, if you go there, have a lot of equipment, but there is no cross-fertilization, there is no collaboration in the university. We have to foster that to make sure that we'll be able to do what we want to do. I have a simple quote for all of us before my friend Samakumia comes in to give you the change itself, what is going on. And that is the quote by Stephen Covey. It says, to achieve goals you've never achieved before, you need to start doing things you've never done before. So, ladies and gentlemen, I invite Samakumia to come in.
Good morning. I'm happy that at least I'm able to be part of this closing function because I have been. Yes, I have been with BSU from day one, from BSU 1, BSU 2, BSU 3. And I want to pay glowing tribute to the person who linked KNUST to BSU. And I got a mail that there's a meeting in Copenhagen and your Vice Chancellor's phone number is needed. Quickly, I forwarded it before telling Prof. Ellis that your phone number has been demanded, and this is the situation. And lo and behold, Prof. Ellis gets a mail about building stronger universities, KNUST and University of Ghana. And that person who linked us up is no other person than Professor Olaf Jules Sorensen, who is sitting right here. Yes. And I'm glad that he is part of the closing function as well. Yes, so my role is to bring to you the impact and whatever changes that we have enjoyed as a business incubator. But I can't say that without looking at the bigger picture. I think that the BSU has really impacted on individuals. It has impacted on institutions. It has impacted on departments, and so on. And I would say that individually, we have what we call networking between North and South. I wouldn't have known Peter Furu if not because of BSU. I wouldn't know Christian. And there's another Christian, a tall Christian. Yes, Thorsten, and so on. So that collaboration will not end today because BSU has ended. If I go to Denmark and I am in Copenhagen, I know where to go. I know somebody there, and it is through BSU. And that shouldn't be taken for granted. I also look at the South here. Most of the people in the different work packages, work package 1, work package 2, work package 3, work package 4, I wouldn't know them, even though we are in the same university. There are people I met for the first time because we had a joint BSU meeting. And I think that those people have also been beneficial, especially to the incubator. So if we talk about networking, both individual and institutional networking, that is what I'm referring to. Through that, we have also had institutional networking with access to innovation. We've had institutional networking with other Danish universities, DTI. We've had institutional networking with Aalborg University, University of Northern Denmark, Aarhus University, and so on. And then to say, I mean, these institutional networks are not important would be something that I'm taking for granted. UCN, through this, we actually developed what we call the Mobility Plus, Erasmus Mobility Plus, because we got to know each other through the BSU. Then 2 students from KNUST, one from the business school, one from aquaculture, were able to go to Denmark for internship for 3 months, fully paid by Erasmus because of the network created by BSU. Another 3 students also went to Denmark to join the UCN as exchange students. So these are some of the benefits that we gained. Then I want to talk about beneficiaries. And here I'm talking about the companies in the incubator that became beneficiaries of the training that we gained from the North. We have a company called Remotech, BD Green. Remotech is a company that seeks to conserve energy. BD Green is a company that uses waste products and turn them into briquettes. Then Wobble Technologies. Wobble, I have seen him around. He is a manufacturer of agri machinery. Then we have Maptech Logistics. Maptech uses GIS, Geographical Information Systems, for mapping and solving problems. AquaFresh, I'm sure most of you have heard of AquaFresh, seeks to solve post-harvest losses. African Legend is a creative arts company. Then Bonvas Travel and Tours, doesn't need explanation. Palo is a company that has a portal that links people who want to have hairdo or, hair services. So if you want a hairdressing salon, yes, the one that is cheap, the one that is expensive, you link up with Palo, and then they can link you to the right place. Moreplace is a company that also manufactures soap and hair products. And then ABC Automation, they are into water management. Now, I've mentioned these companies because the impact that they have is very high. For instance, Moreplace has almost about 43 employees whilst he was still in school. In fact, currently, he has just finished his national service. and he's walking into his company as a managing director. Right from chemical engineering, he is walking into a company that has been built at Bekwai, and then because of Moplex, the whole village where he comes from, they had only one phase of electricity. But because we bought the machines for him, and the machines were 3-phase, then we had to lobby through the Bekwai MP, through the Minister of Energy, and electricity company installed 3-phase transformer to the whole village. That was about 3 months ago. And I think that should also be an impact to the community. Yes. Okay. Now, I will talk about what we have learned or the changes that we gained as an incubator. One, we have learned project management. Project management. Before BSU, we were still doing our thing. Then Professor Bedu came. And then every morning, by 6 a.m., you get a call. You have not submitted this. You have not submitted that. You know this meeting is coming up, and so on. And I'm sure there were times that he felt that we were dodging him. Yes, he felt that way, but eventually he saw delivery, so he was okay. Now, we also got the North partners to join us in developing the skills of the incubator tenants through virtual, training and face-to-face training. I remember that Jacob came on several occasions with some members of Access to Innovation. And then when Olaf took over, Olaf has been here with Michael, and we have enjoyed the presentation. I think that he did a bigger presentation to a group of about 40 people, and then he also met them one-on-one. And that one-on-one is a game changer. If you have a person with experience like Olaf sitting in front of you as a consultant, trying to help you solve problems in your company or your startup, then you see that you can't, or you couldn't have paid for his time. Yes. Now, we also have state-of-the-art machinery, which is very rare in the whole Science and Technology University. Before we bought our 3D printers, the School of Engineering had a very small one, and ours came and it dwarfed what they had. It's a jumbo size, 2 jumbo size. And I think that even if you are talking about Kumasi, you can count about 5 of that. And that is what started our makerspace. Those who understand the running of incubator will understand makerspace. That's where people with creative ideas, they go and they use the machines there and play around and form the prototypes that they want to form. And you can print prototype 1, prototype 2, prototype 3, and then show it to people who are going to be end users. And then they will choose what they want. So it is not just like we used to do in our secondary schools, use plywood or use paper to formulate something. And this time it is closer to the end product using the machines. So that has been a blessing. Apart from that, the machines, we at the incubator, when they break down, we don't know how we can replace them. So we have set up a business unit with the machines. People from architecture who come to print their assignments, you have to pay. So it is an income generation unit which sustains itself. So recently somebody came to, do maintenance. It cost 12,000. We didn't have to go and ask anybody. We had to pay. So it is income generation activity that the incubator is running. And to the point that we are even trying to move to a bigger place where the business will be well branded and make more money. Now, through this, we have also created employment for the founders. The businesses that we mentioned, the founders would have gone to look for a job. But we encourage them to come in teams. So, for instance, if you have a company and a team of 3, if you have 10 companies, 30 people would have been employed. And those who have tasted entrepreneurship, they don't want to go back to seek employment. And that is the nice part of it. And employment creation means wealth creation. Some of them are even exporting, and they are making money for themselves. At the incubator, we are not interested in the money you make. We are interested in knowing how much you make to also tick our boxes that wealth creation is taking place, not because we want to share the money with you. Then we have developed strong relationship with industry. Because of the academia industry, platform we built in WP2, which we saw as almost something very much needed. Then we looked at WP3, the app in the mobile form, and that is what is to be launched tomorrow. Now, job and internship opportunities for students and others in the community. Most of our incubatees employ people around, some from Aija, some from ADS, and so on. Last year, one of the incubatees, a startup company, employed or took in 70 interns. Even Unilever will not take 70 interns from KNUST, from one school. And that is what they said. You created us, so we have to give back. And that is a big impact. If you go there now, you see some have 8 interns, some have 5 interns. They are doing web development, some are doing content writing, and so on. And they are occupied during the vacation. And then we have advanced prototypes because of the machines. And the 3D printers are able to be used for other things. Those doing sculpture, they will print the 3D, and then when they sit behind it, it is easier than to have a 2D picture. Yes. So we encourage those who have not heard of it to send a message that the KBI, we have a makerspace, and most prototypes can be done there. We are trying to add to it because every project has a sustainability clause. We don't want anyone from Denmark to come here in 10 years and say, oh, whilst Bsu Iii was on, we set up a certain unit. Where is it? We are going to make sure that by the time you come, even if these are obsolete, we would have had the modern state-of-the-art machinery through this one as a base. And I would end here because time is fast spent. But I want to thank our northern partners and also our southern partners, tax members, that they have really impacted on us. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll take the video highlights for work package 2 now. Oh, okay. Sorry, we'll have you all, love.
Sorry for not being on the agenda, but taking the word anyway, so I hope that's okay. I'm a newcomer to BSU Iii at KNUST. As you can see, I'm not a newcomer to this world. And also, I'm not a newcomer to Ghana. If I look around, I was here before you were born. In 1976 to 78, I was attached to your competitor, University of Ghana. And we did see you as a competitor even at that time. I'm not a newcomer to BSU because I'm running BSU 123 in Tanzania with the Sokoine University of Agriculture. I think from these two presentations, even if I have not been involved a lot, I think I feel safe to say that this Bird Package 2 is in pretty good hands with William and Sam. I don't know if you actually know Sam. Where are you? Did you leave again? No? I don't know. He's always flying out. Yes, he's here. Actually, we are old pals because he was my student back in 2001. Yeah, he was a student at Aalborg University. And he also managed to actually take money out of KNUST to pursue a PhD. And I was happy because I received the money. And he didn't draw a lot on me because he did not complete. Then, much to my surprise, all of a sudden, I have given up on him. He sent me a complete PhD draft of 200 pages. Wow. I was not in the university anymore, didn't have money, so I had to read this. Well, that was a very big pleasure to do that, and I don't know how you has been announced in this university, but he actually completed his PhD. Sam, when was it? Last March? May. Okay. So he did a very good job in defending his thesis. So should we give him a hand on that one? Now, as I said, I've not been involved a lot in entrepreneurship and innovation in World Package 2. Only had one session, which Sam Akome also mentioned. It was a joy to meet these 22, I think, students one-on-one with so fantastic good ideas, some of them very realistic, some of them highly unrealistic. Let me point at two things which make this entrepreneurship program in KNUST so good. It is because it integrates entrepreneurship and innovation. And sometimes I feel it not stressed enough. People think that just they have a course on entrepreneurship, they can go and do business. But if you don't have some innovation involved as well, then it won't work. I have here a small slide which you will not see, but if you are a good innovator, but not a good entrepreneur, you will have an invention but no commercialization. Simple as that. If you are no good at any of the things, you are off and on business. And in particular in Ghana, if you think of your mummy trading system, this is an on and off system where people have money, go out and buy, and then they sell, and then they lose, and then they're out of business. You have a lot of entrepreneurship there, but it won't work. So, but if you have a lot of entrepreneurship, but no innovation, what do we have? We have more of the same and stiff competition. And that's what bothers a lot of industries in Ghana, that you have so many people who repeat what has already been done, and there is no innovation. So just competition. So we need these two things together, innovation and entrepreneurship integrated. And that's the good thing with a university like KNUST, because you have a lot of technical innovations. And then it's the question of learning how to commercialize it. So it's very nice to have these two things together. Then there's one thing I want to mention on training students. We realized at my university in Aalborg that we had a PhD even on it. She was investigating what was driving the students. Well, if you have entrepreneurship in a trade, they just follow the master and take over the business. If you have entrepreneurship in a university, it's something different, very different. Because these are young people. How old are they? 20 to 25. What is on their mind? Well, they would like to earn money, but there's a lot of other things on their mind. To fall in love? Should I get married? Should I move to some other place? I mean, just think about yourself when you were, I guess most of you are over 20, so I can safely say that. Think of yourself at that time. There were so many agendas. Entrepreneurship was just one, and making a business plan I could learn in an hour. But there were other issues. So we found out that we had to nurture our students much more than if they are just in a normal academic career. Then the other element, which has been stressed a lot, I think it's great work you're doing on university-industry collaboration. And that gives you realistic things to work with, real-life problem. It gives you collaboration, and it gives you a lot of learning from practice. I'm not the guy who says that practice is one thing, theory is another. I'm the guy who says these two must be integrated. If we cannot integrate them and learn iteratively between them, we will not be good entrepreneurs or innovators. But these elements are here in this program. It's a quite comprehensive program. You have an approach to entrepreneurship. And I want to mention one last thing, because the course I had in the, here last time in March took place in the, I don't know what the building is called, but it's the old museum building. Or is it? Yeah, it was an old museum building. It's a fantastic place to have an incubator. There's so much atmosphere in that building. So I really hope that you will give that whole building to entrepreneurship. It's an amazing incubator place. And there's also, yes, let's clap for them. Yes. I was teaching there, I liked that building. And I know there was other people in there as well, but you will also have your laboratory there, a small laboratory there. So to the management of KNUST, please provide that building to the entrepreneurs. Yes, but just say thank you very much. That I've been very much enjoying coming back here. Many years I wasn't in Ghana, but now I'm back a little bit. That's very nice. And thank you very much to William and to Sam for such good work packets you have done. Thank you.
Thank you, Olav. And it was good that we had you speak. We picked up a few things. Entrepreneurship without innovation only breeds competition, and everyone just suffers. So technical team, we are ready now to take the video for work package 2.
Over the past decade, the BSU project has been instrumental in fostering a research-friendly environment through its collaboration with the Office of Grants and Research.
And it was established around the time that BSU II began its implementation. And it was quite timely because
the Building Stronger University project by Danida over the past 10 years has benefited KNUST and Ghana and Africa as a whole. Before it came into being, KNUST and Ghana and Africa as a continent, we've been facing problems of graduate unemployment. We identified the problems as being unable to link our students with industry, and the staff itself unable to draw projects that are relevant to industries and to the students. In other words, we've not been able to build the needed skills for the industries to enable our students who come out to be able to employ themselves and also be employable. That has been the state of this university for a very long time. And if you look at our ranking, it's all been on publications, which is quite different from the ranking of the Western countries. I can give examples of Canada and the European countries. Their rankings are quite different. So over the years, this project decided to invest in the capacity of the lecturers and the students to be able to carry out research and outreach that are relevant to themselves as a university and to the community or our stakeholders.
Before BSU, we were running a business incubator. We were bringing in different resource persons, some from Europe and some from other parts of Africa. But BSU came as a partnership and not necessarily a one-off resource persons. So we were happy that almost every quarter there was some kind of training, either online or people coming from Denmark to support what we're doing here and also to meet the students one-on-one.
Before the BSU, we are a team of 4 on the JDEX Company Limited. Yeah, so we joined the Kumasi Incubation Hub this year, and before that we didn't know how to go about our product distribution, what to start with. So BSU came in, organized about 3 trainings for us, and through that we were able to get marketing opportunities and also funding opportunities and ways to develop our business.
Before we had an encounter with BSU in partnership with Access to Innovation in Denmark, there was a lot of loopholes in our business, being it financially and then trying to find the markets out there. Yes, even though we were trying to solve a problem, there was still a problem within our company. So we had a consultation and then training with Access to Innovation in partnership with BSU. During this meeting, we had the opportunity to meet Mr. Michael and then Mr. Olaf. After we met them, we were able to scale up our product. These were some of the things we went through. They took us through how to price our product, how to scale up our product, and then how to also find the market out there. So they took us through all these initiatives in order for us to implement it in our business, in order to scale up the product. We were having only few bookings or few people using our software. There were even less than 100 people using our software. But currently we've been able to scale up to over 600 people using our software. And then we get as far as 10 to 20 bookings per day, which has actually increased our profitability out there.
Doing this together with the students built capacity in the students to be able to set up their own businesses
because they are able to come out with innovations, ideas that are unique, that can go into businesses. The project in doing this also built an infrastructure called the Kumasi Business Innovation Center, the KBI. So we have an incubator. When a student comes out with an idea, can grow the idea into the incubator. We build capacity in the incubator to make sure that the students and their lecturers are guided properly. Today, as I speak, we've been able to come out with an industry, academia package, and this is a server that has all the database of our alumni, the students, current students, staff, and industries.
So I'll say that Bsu Iii gave us a new perspective in terms of what incubator tenants should know. I happen to be in Denmark to also defend my PhD thesis, and Professor Olaf arranged for me to also see the Aalborg University incubator, which is massive, very huge, very advanced technology, advanced machinery, and we were thinking there would be opportunity for us to continue that collaboration with their new AAU incubation center, but it's sad that it is coming to an end.
In order to sustain the momentum, the university will carry out what we have already integrated into the university system as a result of policies. The policies must work, and the policies of job creation and innovation. If we're able to do it very well, sustain it, in the next 5 to 10 years, we will have the university generating enough money, what I term academic businesses. And they will get royalties from companies set up by universities, by colleges, faculties, and departments together with their students. These royalties will bring in enough revenue to the university to do many things that they can do and provide an academic environment, provide teaching and research environment for their students and staff.
Currently, BSU is ending, and it is sad to hear that BSU is going, because we have benefited from BSU in terms of knowledge from our partners from the north, and in terms of, I would say, machinery.
Today, KNUST is producing students that are entrepreneurial, very innovative, students that are setting up their own projects, students that are employable to address the national unemployment and continental unemployment issue.
We were brought into the Kumasi Business Incubation Hub through the Center for Business Development and under the Access to Innovation program by our Denmark partners. We had various sessions, both in person and online, which had facilitators like our Professor Olaf, Madam Bridget, Michael, and then other instructors that helped us understand the way our business should be well organized and how we should go about our business in general. We received training under financial management, record keeping, entrepreneurship business model, marketing, among many others.
We've been able to make a lot of prototypes and also done processing into registering our business and everything. And it has been a great initiative by the BSU through their training programs. And I would say BSU, one other thing that I like so much about it is the recent exhibition that we had, which made us project our business to investors and also lots of customers. And I would say that is a very great initiative. So going forward, I would say that as a team, the BSU project has also helped us develop as ways to pitch, ways to talk in public speaking and all that, yes. And personally, that is one thing I also cherish a lot. For the company, I would say it was a very good starting point for us. As a startup, it's also a very good starting point for us.
We had challenges whenever we went for funding from somewhere. We usually find it difficult speaking to investors and then so on. Olaf and then Michael took us through how to get funding from investors. They made us aware that if we were the investors, would we have invested in our business? Is our product viable to be invested in? And if it is, then we should make sure that, or we should know that the investors will do as such. So after taking us through all these processes, we're able to come up with a better funding opportunity on how to put ourselves out there for funding.
Through this program, personally, I learned a lot as a business person. I came to the realization that doing business is not just about how innovative your idea is, but how you're able to carry your idea and sell it to the public. How you manage your business structure, your business model, what you are selling to the market, and how you also organize your financial flow, your cash flow in the business. All these training helped us to bring our businesses to life, innovate and evolve around the basic idea, adapt new idea, drop others, and also introduce new ideas in the whole process. BSU has been a great benefit to me, my business, and to the people we've been able to create employment for. Not just them, to also our numerous customers who have benefited from Swift and Nose innovation and Bomba Stores operations as well.
We owe our gratitude to the Danish government and to our northern partners who together have invested in the university. If you look at our mission today, it was not that in the past. We have entrepreneurship and community engagement flagged out clearly in our mission statement of the university. What it means is that entrepreneurial aspects have become part of this university. And lecturers and students are now aware of what they are supposed to do.
I want to use this opportunity to thank the Danish government and then the BSU Iii project in partnership with Access to Innovation for this initiative or project they've brought to us, PALO. It has really helped us scale our project, and then we really say God bless them.
BSU, we are much grateful for your help. We are much grateful for your support. And in fact, you will be missed after this very session. Thank you very much once again, and we say God bless you.
I would like to say a very big thank you to BSU Project and also in partnership with the Danish government for all these supports that we are getting. Thank you so much.
Building stronger universities, a decade and over of strengthening research capacity at KNUST.
Don't we all have something we cherish about BSU? So let's put our hands together again. we all certainly have something we cherish about the BSU engagement. There are two more things and then we'll be out of here. I promise you we'll leave on time. So next, we'll invite Christian Greger to touch on lessons learned for work package. Okay. So Prof. William Odro would touch on lessons learned.
So at this juncture, we want to get views from you. It's just a discussion for. Yeah, discussion for meanwhile. Now, what I see, and that is a Chinese proverb which says that teach the child. I mean, you say something to the child and the child will forget. Now, you take the child to practice, you involve the child, and then you stand by, and then the child will be able to do what he's supposed to do. Now, that thing really helps me a lot. We have seen the Danish government coming in to help us. They build us up to be a strong university. They are going to stand out. They are exiting. Can we do what they did? And that is the questions that we want to, how do we get it done? Already we've been indications. Christian was saying that Zulu University, Tanzania, and other universities, they have used some of us who have been trained to go there to train them. Not only that, but within this place, Ghana, KNUS is training others. I want us to look at that from that aspect. Now the boss is leaving, he's exiting. Can KNUST take over and begin to get to other universities in Africa? Because we are talking about Africa and Ghana here. So that is the question and the discussion. We want to have that done within the few minutes, and then we go out. It is something we have to do. We can't end it up here and say, yes, KNUST, yes, we are this, we're package 4, we're package 3, we're package 1, all that we have learned, and it is just within KNUST. It's not going to work. KNUST should be seen as a university going out to fertilize other universities. Yes, any discussion on that, comment? I have just 5 minutes. Christian has said it all, we have done it all, but is it something that you think that we should do? If it is something, I believe that is something we should do, but what is the process? Yes, Olaf is here.
Am I on? Yeah. Is it okay? No, I think it's a great idea that what we have learned here, now I'm talking about work package 2 because I don't know the others, should actually be transferred, disseminated, but what form? Because there are other places in Africa, also universities, which have come quite a way in terms of entrepreneurship, innovation, and they probably did it different from you. I mean, I've been involved in Bsu Iii for 10, 12 years, and there we have debated and created entrepreneurship platforms also, and also well-functioning. And especially they have a hub outside the university where the students can come and entrepreneurs can come, which is formed like a cooperative, which is also a great idea. So perhaps reformulate a little bit, like saying, isn't there a need for a Africa-wide forum or conference where we can debate these things and from the point of view that we want to take new actions, right, and learn from each other. So that would be my take on it, that we are in need of such a conference across Africa. Maybe it has been done, I don't know, but you should never say that your idea is the newest in the world, because if you go on the net, you will see that there are activities which you thought would never have taken place. But something like this. Thank you.
I know Sam is not here, but let me tell you that he's been invited to Tanzania, Dar es Salaam, University of Tanzania, to set up a hub, and also SUSA. And that is what we're expecting KNUST to be, to go and give birth to all the things that we have studied, we have learned here, the skills and the competencies. And this shouldn't be a one-time thing. We should be known to deliver that to other universities in Africa. Oh, Sam, yes, Sam is here. Please, can you speak to that? I didn't see you. You were invited to set up the hub, the business innovation hub in Tanzania. You couldn't go, but can you just speak to that?
I think that when it comes to university incubators, KNUST is far advanced, even in some universities in Europe and so on. So it was not surprising that during one of our projects, we visited Tanzania, they also came here. And what they saw, they wanted me to come and establish one for them in Tanzania and Zanzibar. Yes, also in Zanzibar. We are still in talk as to what they need, especially the top management buy-in. If you don't get that one, you don't need to start at all, because the incubator is capital intensive. And we have been lucky in KNUST that we ran the incubator not from KNUST funds. We use funds from other sources, including the BSU that we've done. So if you don't have people who drive it, people who look outside and bring in the funds, and you want to rotate it like head of department kind of activity, then at one point it will collapse. Yes, so that is where we are. For them to get the university buy-in, for them to also look at or inform us where they would get their funds from. So when that is done, then we can go into action. Thank you.
Okay, so I want to conclude here, and then we'll close. So we are not closing BSU. No. The donors are exiting, our experts are exiting, but KNUST is going to assume the ownership and the leadership and the driver of all that we have learned here in Africa. It's not going to be individual basis like somebody inviting some to go and do the thing and then it is some alone. No, but it is KNUST going to all the African countries and to Ghanaian universities here to establish what we have done over here. So I want us to go out with that in our mind. And if that is going to be the take-home message, or we're going to get a team that will put that one to the management of the university, that KNUST, we have learned a lot, and we should go and deliver those things to other universities to set them free from poverty. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Prof. Odro, please stay on hand to do a closing prayer for us. So I think we should put our hands together for our chairperson. He's done a great job. At this point, we'll invite him to give us his closing remarks, after which Prof. Fodro would do closing prayer.
Ladies and gentlemen, you will all agree with me that we've had a very fruitful and exciting meeting today. Shall we give ourselves a clap? From morning till now, we've been taking through an overview of how the BSU started, BSU 1, BSU 2, BSU 3, lessons learned there from BSU 1. For BSU 1, focused on PhD training, capacity building. And the successes there were formed the basis of BSU 2, out of which further successes formed the basis for BSU 3, where now we had to go out, involve more stakeholders to actually get our message through and actually drive home the concept of entrepreneurship, where we engage industry, we engage all the stakeholders to solve national problems as the mandate of the whole BSU has been about. We were also taken through some sustainability systems to get the entrepreneurship drive going. We also had some exciting moments about staff and students exchange as part of some of the benefits of the entire BSU program. Now, it was exciting to hear from Christian, I guess that's the name, that KNUST has been earmarked to be a mentor to other African universities. And that, if I heard him right, he said at the next meeting in Arusha, he was going to push for that strongly. So let us give ourselves a clap again. So that means that something right has been done in the university. The objective set for enhancing all the things that we need to do as a stronger university has been achieved. And so we are being encouraged to mentor others to do same. Now, Prof. Fodro raised an important point of continuity, where we have to, as part of the mentoring, how do we proceed? A few thoughts have been shared, and I believe we can also, as a university, seek a grant from MasterCard Foundation, since their focus is on capacity building, entrepreneurship, improving the lives of the youth. So those skills we've acquired through the BSU projects, I believe if we seek their assistance, they will be able to help us. And that will now be the funding that we will use to actually mentor other universities. Because if we have to wait for them to get money before they call us, if that university is not well versed in grantsmanship, it means that all the beautiful things you've acquired will not be able to extend it. So this is a plea I'm sharing with the funders again, the Danish partners, and our own university to seek extra funding to actually make this mentorship drive and transfer of these expertise a reality. I believe tomorrow will also be an exciting time And so I encourage each and every one of you to be here to listen to what the team has for us. On this note, I thank you all for your participation and hope that tomorrow you'll be here and to take the BSU to the next level as has been envisaged. Thank you very much.
Great. We are almost there. So, by way of announcement, tomorrow we'll be here at 8:30ish, so we can start on time at 9. Today we've heard from Work Package 4 and Work Package 2. Tomorrow would be Work Package 1 and Work Package 3, and then there'll be the final close-out session. Hearing from Work Package 4 and 2, I know that there have been exchange. People have gone to the north. So tomorrow morning, before we do start, I hope that some Danish culture has been rubbed off on us. So we'll do a bit of test about Danish culture. I have a few expressions, but they are only good for dinner time. So at 6 p.m., I'll use them tomorrow. So Prof. Odro, closing prayer.
Let's pray. Our dear Lord, we thank you for bringing us to the close of this session. Lord, we know we have been weaned by our northern partners who have brought to us a lot of skills and competencies. You said, he that much is given, much is expected from him. Our challenge is to get to other universities in this country and on the continent. We are asking that you give us the needed resources. Now we know how to generate money. Help us, Lord, to be able to do that and to do the job that you have set before us. As we go home, we trust that you take us back home. We give you all the praise. In Jesus' name, amen.
We are done. Thank you very much. And see you tomorrow. Let's put our hands together for ourselves. We've been great. And hopefully I still have a job tomorrow to be MC. See you. Bye.